high interest rates don't affect a cash buyer. So whether that's an institution or someone that is just, at the back half of their lifespan, has their nest egg really well established, they want to move from point A to point B, loan is not a factor because they're
that age appropriate cash buyer at the end of their earning stream.
Right.
They're also buying second homes,
right.
which obviously the cash, they're not affected by the interest rate, but their second home purchase impacts our inventory pretty dramatically.
Interesting. I was having a similar conversation this weekend, and someone was speculating on a large wealth transfer between, boomers and later generations as, sadly, they start to pass away.
Sure.
And they were saying, well, maybe that will just re-level things. And I was like, well, first of all, grim. But second, I don't know. I don't actually think that's the solution that an older generation is going to age out and then homes are going to become available and maybe let me just, expand on this a little bit. The U.S. population has always been very transient. Right. We've been able to pick up and move from Washington to Texas, as both of us have.
Yes.
And
the Great Migration.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not really a problem. So if there's a wealth transfer where people then can't move homes or it's very costly to do so, then again, that starts to feel a little bit more like a European system.
The other thing I would want to know, because I haven't researched this, but I would want to know is what percentage of the boomers who are on this trajectory. So I don't know how to say it politely, but how many of them are in reverse mortgages? So those homes aren't owned free and clear.
Exactly.
How many of them their home is their greatest asset and it really isn't that much money? I mean, I work with a lot of people, not even a fair amount of people that, a parent has died and that home is to be sold. And each of the family members are only getting, they're not going to go buy homes after that one house sells. So in order to transfer the home, to the next generation, it would have to mean, there's maybe only one heir in that family.
Right.
So
it's not a 1-to-1.
No, it's not. Yeah. So I don't know that I buy that. And I know a lot of people that are baby boomers, did not manage their money well, and they're not liquid. I mean, they're not all going to die with enough wealth to re-engage the next generation.
Right.
So I don't know the percentages on that, but I would want to know all that before I bought that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, interesting stuff to pull the.
We can go. We'll do some research. I'll be right back.
Right, exactly. It's I'd say, hey, Sean, do the Googling, but this is a passion project for me. Okay. On the side to research this stuff.
Also, I think a lot of baby boomers have kind of clicked over to realizing they have enough. There's enough, financial plan trajectories. They feel comfortable and they're starting to spend they're starting to spend the inheritance.
Right.
Which, I know for my own mom, I support. She really wants to go to Italy this summer. Yeah. And I've just been I'll help you figure it out. Let's rent the villa. Her money, not mine. But she's never historically been a spender, but she's aging into a point where, according to the financial projections, she's okay. She's starting to spend that money instead of what I call hoarding your retirement, which I support. I don't want to get rich off of her retirement. So I think that's also a trend happening is the younger boomers are you only live once.
Which that's an interesting feature that I hadn't quite talked about or thought about. But, applying my, college economics courses, it seems like cash flowing is very healthy.
One of their retirement strategies is to buy an investment property. So they have that monthly cash flow. Well, that's the tenant in that property is not a buyer.
Right.
Right. So we've got the corporate entities entering landlord at a very high level. But on a individual level, a lot of baby boomers have thought that's a great way to enhance my retirement. So the housing inventory available for first-time buyers is pinched on both sides.
Right. So here's a question that I've had. I think looking at the data and looking at a lot of the news stories, it's not really arguable that, there's large institutions like Blackrock, acquiring, massive portfolios of real estate. Have you bumped into that in terms of actual transactions, a institutional buyer being a an institutional buyer being a buyer.
I personally haven't, but there's an entire community in Kyle, which is, 15 minutes south of here. If we were to hop on 35 right now, the entire community is corporate owned, and it's every single house is a rental.
Interesting.
And it's right on 35.
Yeah.
So I think the play there is clear.
Right.
They keep the rental income coming now until the development between Austin and Kyle is consistent, and then they can develop that into commercial property.
Right.
It's a long-term play that pays off now. So no, I haven't personally seen what I can, Blackrock as a buyer.
Right.
But the article about how many homes in Texas are corporate owned, I mean, the documentation is there.
Right. Exactly. Even then, that was a data point that I hadn't heard before on where specifically some of these, tracks are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we try and steer this back towards something that's maybe useful or actionable to people that are out there thinking about this, because I'm trying to reconcile the two sides of okay, I think there's some features here that we need to be cognizant of, but long term, I'm pretty bullish on both the real estate industry and America.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So I just would say something to maybe people that are a little newer to the business.
Yep.
And a lot of people joined the industry during the pandemic. This is my 25th year. Okay.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to me. But for all 25 years, I have been told that realtors are going to be replaced.
Yes. There we go.
Replaced by, being able to look at homes online, being able to plug in a code and open the door yourself, being able to any number of things. So am I worried that this is finally the thing that is going to replace me? No, I'm not. I just don't choose to operate that way.
Right.
If the conditions require me to be better, I will be better. That's my mindset.
Yeah.
If I've heard from people that are new to the business and people that have been in longer than me that are freaking out about this. And I would say if your reaction to some change in business is to freak out, I would encourage you to take a look in the mirror and assess what's going on in your whole 360 life, because you need to build some resilience.
Yes.
Right? Every real estate transaction has the possibility of being incredibly volatile. There are a lot of moving parts, people on the other side you can't talk to, and maybe if you're feeling this upset, you need to look at, stress reduction strategies and some things to find your own center, because, family, friends, your community, those are the things that are most important. Business practices should not cause you to freak out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I look at it a little bit like, there's a major highway project in my, adjacent to my neighborhood, and it's, going to take years to finish, and you never know where the traffic has been adjusted to and how much extra you should tack on if you have to go through that intersection and all this stuff. So it's yes, it affects my day to day. I have to keep an eye on it. But do I have the pressure of needing to know where they're putting the culvert or where they're going to park the concrete batch truck thing no, I don't have to micromanage the entire thing. So what part of this proposed settlement do you need to be aware of and take seriously and know that it's going to impact your life? And which part is it's really good you're not an association executive or the guy that makes the tech behind the MLS right now?
Yeah.
They're going to be real busy, but that part doesn't really concern you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think maybe I'd leave the audience with this, which is I think change creates opportunity, right? And every time you see some churning like this, it's an opportunity for entrenched players to get displaced and for new people to, sort of make their name, right? And so maybe I'd just say you need to be thinking about how are you going to take best advantage of this situation, right? And we've talked about a lot of tactics, and I think people need to be intentional about it.
Absolutely. And, there will be some realtors who decide that they just don't want to have the new rules. They're at a place in their career where they can retire. Is this an opportunity for you to, partner with them on working their book of business? I mean, it could be as literal as that.
Yep.
It's an opportunity for you to be better.
This episode of Keeping It Real is brought to you by Real Geeks. Real Geeks is the all-in-one real estate sales and marketing technology platform that is designed to make real estate professionals more efficient. New for 2024, Real Geeks has 4 packages. The base package, which is the same platform that everyone's used to that starts at $299, as well as 3 packages that include leads. So if you're looking to upgrade your technology and get leads, we've got something for everyone. All of the packages include SEO Fast Track, which is Real Geeks' AI-enabled SEO tool, which builds out long tail programmatically driven AI content for your listing pages. Data coming off this has been great in terms of generating long tail traffic for our customers. You want to check this out? Head over to realgeeks.com and tell them that you saw us on Keeping It Real.